There's always a messed up pattern with merit based scholarships where the people who usually get into these would already be wealthy because wealth is what affords tutoring, the extracurriculars, and even a school to get you the proper test grades. But lo and behold, someone like me at 12 got into these fancy schmancy schools. There were 20,000 applicants, 200 spots. It was a full ride, 6 years. For context, at that time, I couldn't afford better transport, so I commuted 5 to 10 hours on some years. 1 year, I was late to school over 60 times, and I'd sit next to my peers who would either spend what I might spend for 3 weeks on one trip to school, or their parents just bought a condo unit close by. I'd say internally parts of it were hard, but there was actually a very magical, mystical thing that happened from that experience. 10 years later, I earned my first million. So this is from a kid who couldn't afford better public transportation. So how does that actually happen? There is a Harvard study that shares that one of the strongest predictors of economic mobility, specifically for those in the low income bracket, isn't the course they study, the school they get into, or even the job they get. It's whether they had rich friends growing up. And I found this to be true for my life, where seeing some of my peers pull out a stash of cash from their wallet, or even having them talk about their weekend plans and their summer plans of traveling around the world with their families, it really opened my mind about what it's like to have wealth, which is like a completely different set of norms, beliefs, behaviors, and just really impacts the way you view life. Like for them, or at least at the time, there was like this level of assurance and security that whatever happens, they will be safe. And so I saw them take riskier moves, have a lot of extracurriculars, and this was just expected of them. And so in many ways, I followed these behaviors, which before being around these people didn't feel possible. So I know this study is about childhood, which is mostly something out of your hands. So here's something that I think you could take away from the study and do something about in your own life. Make the luck go your way by being in rooms with people who are vastly different from you, ideally in the direction you want your career to go or your life to go. If you want to be rich, hang out with rich people. Get into their neighborhoods, their schools. If you want to consider pivoting into a more creative field, go to art conferences, exhibitions, or even like Comic-Con, and really see how these exposures shape and transform the possibilities you can see for your life.